Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to do a mod that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and that is to do a hydro mod, essentially, where you fill the watch with oil. And obviously there's two big benefits to that. One, it's supposed to help, not supposed to, it does help your water depth resistance. There's actually a few YouTube videos where they actually test and prove that it does work, but for my use case, I'm not going to be diving, but it's supposed to also make the watch more legible. So that is what I'm going after. So I've got my, I don't want to tilt this up. Let's see, are there any other springs are going to fall off if I turn this upside down? I don't think so. Okay, so I'm going to be doing my 5610 here to see if I can improve the legibility a little bit. So be a pretty quick video. What I'm using actually is mineral oil. Because this is a digital watch, it's not as critical. If you were to do this on like a analog an analog watch, then you would need to have some real like low viscosity, some more premium high-end oil that's very thin, so it's not gonna impede the watch movement. But for a all digital, doesn't really matter. So mineral oil will work just fine, or any oil I suppose would work just as well. So there's a couple ways to do it. Some people take the whole thing apart and soak it and put it back together. I don't know, I think it's gonna be difficult to try to work in those conditions. So instead what I'm gonna do is leave it fully assembled and just top it off with oil little by little, and until it's kind of overflowing, and then I'll put the cap back on. So, I was just about to say that. Should probably put something here so I don't get oil all over the place. Or a Kleenex when you need it, damn it. Okay. Alright, so I'm just not gonna film the entire process, but I'm just gonna let this kind of soak and pause, and then once it's kind of fully saturated, I'll come back for the assembly and we'll see what it looks like. Hey guys, okay, so it has been I don't know, 15 minutes or so. I think that's a good amount of time. I actually did end up kind of topping it off to fully submerge it, just because I realized there's a little bit of a gap here, or not a gap, but a little space, so I don't want that to catch air. So I'm going to put enough to kind of compensate for that and to try to get an air-free application. So this should be more than enough now to cover. And I'm not seeing any air bubbling up, so I think we should be good to go. So here we go. Now the trick is to put this down on an angle and try to not catch any air in it. So let's see. See how well this works. Try to lift it up a little bit, let any air escape. Okay. Should be good. Hopefully. Alright, I'm gonna top off with some more oil just to kind of get it fully covered here. Okay. So I'm gonna let this sit a little bit more just to ensure. Where's my screwdriver, damn it? Come on, where the heck did I put it? I was actually going to start kind of putting the screws in, but still leave it a little bit loose, but I literally lost my freaking screwdriver. What the hell, man? Don't you hate when you do that? It was literally right here in front of me, and now I can't find it. Even though I'm sure it's like right in front of my nose here, I'm just not seeing it. Oh, come on, man. What the hell? Ah, see, like I knew it, right in front of my nose. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of put these in halfway. This is gonna be a little challenging. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh, just the wheel's getting everywhere. This is definitely a messy mod. Okay. So now I'm tempted. I kind of want to take a look out of curiosity, make sure I have no air in there, but I know I might introduce air, so I kind of want to, I think, seal it up. But let's see here. Okay, I'm going to try to give it one more push to make sure that any air is out of there. Alright, I think we're good. So now I'm going to tighten this up all the way to seal it. Okay, give it a final tightening, make sure, because it came out in just a second. I was making sure it's as tight as can be. And then we'll take a final look. And this is much messier than I thought. Alright, moment of truth here. There we go. Wow, it looks much more legible. That's actually super cool. Now honestly, now I might do this to my other watches, because this looks much more legible. You know, there's no like... Alright, let me get this cleaned up, and then we'll see kind of what it looks on wrist. Okay, so it is finally finished. Here we go. So it looks... I probably should have done it better before and after, but actually here, let me see if I have... We can do a little, somewhat of an apples to apples. So you can kind of see right here. It just looks darker. So yeah, it just looks, you know, the best way I can explain it is it looks like someone turned up the battery power on it. You know, like the display was at like dimmer or something, like it just came more alive. Like you just see it, like the ink is just darker, is the best way of saying it. So it's definitely a noticeable improvement. It's freaking messy. I've got oil everywhere now. So it's definitely a messy mod, that's for sure, but definitely worth it, I think. Time will tell how it holds up, if it starts to leak on me or not. I'm hoping not. But obviously you've improved your visibility, you've improved its, you know, diving capabilities, supposedly. But again, not something I'm going to really care about. I mean, but just the visibility alone, I feel, is a worthy mod, and it's relatively quick and easy. Yeah. A watch like this, for example, because doesn't have solar, so you're not going to have to play with kind of that situation like I did. So doing it on something that's a more digital, or even like this might be a good one, because it's not as... Actually, I might do this one next, actually, now that I think about it. But an analog one would be obviously a different story. You got to get really good oil for that. But speaking of oil, see, every time I touch something there's oil now, so I'm gonna pay the price for it. But definitely happy with the outcome. Let's get it on wrist here and end the video with a wrist shot. So thanks for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Actually, before we wrap up, I figured we would see what the Loom looks like with the oil mod now. So let's give it a quick charge. And yes, for those who don't follow some of my mods, I did loom this watch, so we'll see what it looks like now with oil and loom. There we go. So does it look any different? Let's see the light. There's the light. So yeah, loom still works. So just for those. So oil does not impact the loom at all. So on that note, we can end it. Let me see if the light works. Light should still work. How do I do this? Yeah, light still works. So yeah, nothing got impacted, and I wish you guys can see it, but it's kind of hard in this light. Let me see if I could switch the color to a more white. This actually is supposed to be green. It just doesn't show up under this kind of light very well. It would have to be... Alright, anyway. Loom works. That's it for this. Bye.